At UFC on ESPN 57, Nassourdine Imavov got the win over a top 10 opponent that he was after. But his fourth-round stoppage of the former title contender Jared Cannonier was dubious, to say the least. For 3 rounds, Imavov had the cleaner counters, but Cannonier was up on the scorecards due to his heavier hands. Then Imavov wobbled Cannonier in the 4th and went for the kill, which was enough for the ref, despite Cannonier still being on his feet with his hands up and firing back. "My goal is to get the belt for me, my family, everyone around me," said Imavov through a translator after the win. "I'd like to fight Sean Strickland in Paris. So Sean Strickland, if you want to do it, come to Paris and we're going to fight together." The Sean Strickland call-out could be a smart move for Imavov. The former champ is waiting for a rematch with the man who took his belt, Dricus du Plessis, or the man who is likely to be fighting DDP next for the title, the 2-time former champ Israel Adesanya. With that fight not yet signed, Strickland could be waiting a long time, and he seems like the sort of guy who might have a short attention span. As for Cannonier, another win would have made it 3 from 3 since losing his title shot against Adesanya, and he'd have been in line for another shot at the gold. Now, though, it's not as likely. But he was up on the scorecards, and with the stoppage being almost universally seen as early, you can understand why he's called for a rematch. In the co-main event, the former light heavyweight title contender Dominic Reyes finally got his groove back. It took him less than a round to put down Dustin Jacoby for his first win in 5 fights. It was the best he's looked since losing a contentious decision to the former champion John Jones in 2020. And it was all due to the return of his infamous striking and unwavering resolve. "I was just not believing in myself and doubting everything I was doing. I can't even win a fight. How am I going to go for the title? So that wasn't even in my mind," he said after the victory. "You just have to win and get back to being you." Raul Rosas Jr., Bruno Ferreira, Zachary Reese, and Carlos Prates all won performance bonuses. Somewhat surprisingly, though, Punahele Soriano did not win one, despite setting the single-fight record for grounded significant strikes with 136, and the highest strike differential with 309. In other UFC news, the world is still no closer to knowing if Conor McGregor will make it to his main event comeback at UFC 303 this June 29. Michael Chandler is the man who has been waiting to welcome McGregor back to the octagon since the start of 2023. But after being stood up then and again in December, McGregor finally signed on for the headline bout of June's UFC 303.
And his opponent,
The two were scheduled for a pre-fight press conference on the 3rd in McGregor's hometown of Dublin, Ireland. But the event was postponed for as yet unrevealed reasons. The following day, McGregor took to X to announce that the press conference was canceled due to a series of obstacles outside of our control. He then added that he can't wait to put on the greatest all-time show in the octagon. The next day, on the 5th, Chandler revealed on Instagram that he was leaving his training camp, which seemed to suggest that the fight was at the very least about to be postponed yet again. That was until the former dual division champ McGregor released a series of training clips from an unspecified date. And then Chandler took an interview on the 7th in which he said the fight is still happening, but he was taking it with a hefty heap of salt. "If you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans, right?" he added. "But it's just like, dude, this ain't about me. I'm not in control, and we're going to roll with it." At 167, the featherweight Muay Thai champ Tawanchai made it 2 from 2 against Smokin' Joe Nadalwood, but only just. This time, the champ got away with a majority decision, also getting wins in non-title fights with the champs Rodtang, Mikey Musumeci, and Cade Ruotolo. And in kickboxing, at the One Night Glory Light Heavyweight Grand Prix, the former champion Donegay Abenya scored 3 stoppages from 3 fights. That included a KO against the champ Tariq Kababez to win the 2024 Grand Prix. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.